you want to give room on each side of your spine for your pages. So here's my spine, ends here and here. And this is, like I said, 4 inches. So with a 4-inch spine and a 1/2 inch gusset in between each page, we can get 8 signatures in here. This is a signature. If you have a 3-inch spine and you still want a 1/2 inch gusset in between each page, you can get 6. Okay, so you want to make sure that when you're looking on your ruler that you're giving room for the page and the gusset. All right. So as you make them, and you can make a trial one to just double check, make sure it's going to fit in your spine. Just make sure you're not going edge to edge. You want to give room where your first page and your last page are going to start and end. Okay. So what I always do, I don't ever cut my paper first. I just take my sheet of paper and I just start scoring. I'm going to do one. I'm going to show one with the 1/2 inch gusset. And then I will show you one with a 1/4 inch gusset because that's completely different. Sip of my coffee. Okay, so this one's like the simplest one. You don't have to sit and count. You're just going to score at every 1/2 inch. It for now for the scoring board. And as you can see, each line is scored at a 1/2 inch. Okay, so I want to start at the end and I'm just going to fold one. Let me get my bone folder. Just fold one up. You're going to score. You're going to fold up. This is your mountain. It's your mountain. Okay? This is your gusset. So this piece has to be a mountain. So we need to fold up on that as well. And you are creating that. So this is our mountain, our valley, which is your gusset. So that fold is a valley. This is your gusset. That fold is a valley. Now you need to fold it down. So we're bringing the mountain back down. That's how I kind of like to look at it. So now we have, if you look, we have our mountain, our valley, the gusset, the valley, the mountain, down into the valley again. And the next one needs to come up, right? So we're just going to fold that one. So when I'm doing the valleys, I just fold down, I burnish. And the next one has to be a mountain, so we're bringing. And depending on your cardstock you're using, if you're using pretty heavy cardstock, take your time with this. This is, your whole book depends on this hinge, okay? So your whole entire project depends on it holding up on this hinge, okay? So now if you see, if I put them all together, I have a flap, a flap, and a flap. These are my hinges. This is a hinge, this is a hinge, this is a hinge. This is my gusset. So your mountain and valleys make these hinges and gussets. Alright, so then if you look, this one needs to go up. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can get 6 of those on here. Now, what I like to do, which you can't always do if you need more space unless you're gluing pieces together. You can, in this instance, I have plenty of room, so I can cut this off and this off. All right. Now you can use Tyvek and make your spine with Tyvek, and that would be super sturdy. Super sturdy. Pages won't go anywhere. Okay, so that I still might need to trim off a little bit of the edges here, or you might not be able to have this piece at all, depending on how wide your spine is and how many pages you're trying to get in there. Okay, so then what you would do is I turn it around back. And if you look, there's our mountains and our valleys. So this way, these are our mountains. You flip them upside down, they're in there. See, they're facing down. So they're my upside down mountains. Or if you want to call them valleys now, you can call them a valley. So I take a pencil without pulling this apart. You want to figure out where your first mountain's going to be glued together. And I put an X between the two. So I'm gluing this to this. Okay? So when you glue them together, your X disappears. Alright? It's in that valley. So then the next one would be here. The next one would be here. Okay. There you go. Now you don't have to worry about keeping them together. They're there. You want to use the double-sided tape. You want to use glue, whatever it is that you have that's going to keep these spines together. For this video purpose, I'm just going to use this glue. So I'm going to run my glue down one side of my X'd section, or double-sided tape, and then use glue, however you want to do it, and then I just fold it. And then I'm going to go into my next section. And fold it. burnish them in real good. Okay. And then do my next one. Now you turn it back around the right way. You will see there's your spine. And then you want to work your pages, your spines this way. Work your spines that way to make sure that the pages are going to move on them. The heavier the paper you use, the stiffer they are at first. And then what you want to do after you're done making this is you want to take your this is what your page is going to go, and I would just go on an angle so the page slips on there a lot nicer. It will fit over it a lot nicer, and I don't know why end. I don't know why it just said end. There's no end. So I usually just snip all one side. At giving it a 1/2 inch in between each page. Okay, you want to start out with your piece of paper, and you want to have a 1/4 inch gusset. So we want to start out with a 1/2 inch. This is the part that's going to get glued. It's going to lay flat on the book, on the spine. Then you need your mountain. With your mountain you need 2 scores. 1, 2, and they're going to be a 1/2 inch. Okay? Then you're going to do your gusset, which is a 1/4 inch. Then your mountain, which we need another inch. Or I'm sorry, a 1/2 inch and a 1/2 inch, and then you need your gusset, and then you need your 1/2 inch, your 1/2 inch, and then a gusset, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, and then your gusset. And then you need 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to give me 4 spines, so that's good to show you with. Okay. So with this one, the folding, you have to pay attention to your folding, and as you can see, you started out with 3 1/2 inch score marks. So this one's going to be your valley, and the other 2 are going to be your mountain. So my valley gets folded down, and my mountain. Okay. So there's 1, one hinge. Now this little tiny 1/4 of an inch is your gusset. So that's my valley. And then we need to bring the next mountain up. See? So my gusset is half the size of the other one. And the valley has to go. Right. And I still have to look at it. I still get, my brain can't wrap around it. So always do a test run. Always make sure it's going to fit my book before I use good material. See how close they are together? And then the valley. So make sure you fold exactly on the score mark, otherwise you're not going to have a flat bottom for your hinge to glue to your spine. Okay. And then we can cut this end off. Sorry, I got a cold. So I'm going to cut where my last score mark is. Now they're mountains, they're sticking up. We flip them over, they become valleys. So we're going to do our pencil mark. Okay. Leaving these two ends to glue to the book. All right. Get my glue back. Okay, so now there would be your 1/4 of an inch gussets. Cut off. Okay, follow with me. You have the first 1/2 of an inch is the valley. The next 1/2 an inch is the peak of the mountain. No, is the bottom of this valley. The next one is the peak of the mountain, and the next one's the peak of the mountain. Back into the valley. All right. So we have, this is our gusset. This is gonna, these two pieces are gonna go up into the mountain. And then this is our gusset. So we wanna cut off 2 inches, 2-inch strips. That makes any sense, right? Okay, so we're at 11. Inch, 2 inch, 2 inch, 2 inch, and one more scoreboard. And I want to take each one and I want to score every 1/2 inch. So there will be 3 score marks in each one. So you're just going to have a bunch of 2-inch strips with your score marks in here. So what you want to do is the center one, you want to fold up. So you just want to fold it in half, basically. Okay. And then I just push down on the table, folding those other 2. So you end up with that. Okay. So just fold all those the same way. You can fold up. You're going to glue this down. So let's do that. There we go. That looks sturdier, actually. So if we want if you want a 1/4 inch gusset, we would need, for one hinge, your half to lay flat, oh wait, no, sorry, 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, right? Then you would need a half, and then a half, and then a 1/4. So 1.5 inch strips. Yes, 1.5 inch strips. I have to open this, don't I? Okay, so 1.5 inch strips. I'm going to go this way and make it easier on myself. Cut a bunch of strips, have them aside and waiting, and add as you go. Just don't glue them onto your backer yet until you're completely sure that you have enough spines, hinges. Alright, so here we're going to go the 1/4 inch. 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch, and 1 1/4 inches. All right. This is our gusset, our valley. This is our valley, and these 2 pieces is going to be our mountain. So here, you're going to do the same thing. Maybe this is easier with the smaller ones to do it this way. Let's do the ends first. And then the center gets folded the opposite way. Okay, just like that. There they are. I'm going to glue them together. Leaving the 2 small flaps, giving ourselves the hinge. I'm going to glue all these together first. So I'm just gluing the 2 center pieces together, 2 center score marks. You're going to glue first. I think you're going to cut the tips off this one first. This makes a lot more sense. Is this the size I want? No, I guess it don't matter. So we're cutting this off of the part we glued, the 2 pieces we glued together. Now, what you want to do, you want to glue these 2 smaller 1/4 of an inch. Oop. Forgot, got to do both sides. And then this is just going to get glued down on your backer piece. And then go to the next one. And there you go. There is your 1/4 of an inch gusset versus your 1/2 inch gusset. So that's how we make hinges. So again, these are called hinges. The side of your book is your spine. These are called gussets. In between each one of the hinges is called a gusset. Your page is called a signature. And when you're making these, the score line that goes down is your valley, and this is your mountain. This is your valley, valley, mountain, valley, valley, mountain. Just some terminology. Okay, my very first set of journals I made for my family. And I told them that each month that they had to do one page in their album. So I had 12 signatures in these books, and then each month they had to put pictures, little memorabilia that they collected from some place they went during that month, or journal in it. However they wanted to do it, that's what I asked them to do for the entire year. Do you think they all did it? Of course not. Okay. But this was mine. OMG. I quickly realized that if I was going to jam pack my month into these signatures, I needed a bigger spine. What do you think? You agree? However, I love the way this looks on my counter. It sits just like this on my shelf. It sits just like that on my shelf. It's just so cool. Thank you for watching. I hope I've taught you a little something. If you know of another way to make a spine, please comment below of either a link to a tutorial so I can check it out, or I don't know, maybe you have your own YouTube channel that you could show me a thing or two. I'd be happy to watch. Please subscribe, like, and share this video, and stay tuned for my next one. Thank you for watching.